What up, guys? Welcome to the Something on Sports podcast featuring Perm. I'm your host, Some. In today's episode, we want to talk about a hot topic here on the feed. Should LeBron James be a player coach? I guess I should have let my co-host say hello before we got into the topic, but I'm just rambling at this point. So say what's up to the people, Perm.
What's up to the people, Perm?
All right, guys. So the topic we're going to talk about today is just basically coaching. We want to talk about LeBron. It looks like Byron Scott was on Undisputed, and he was talking with Keyshawn Johnson and Skip Bayless. And in the interview, they mentioned that they thought that Byron Scott should be the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. He said, absolutely not interested in that job. I would never take that job. And then from there, he followed it up by stating that LeBron James should be the coach of the team. They should make him the player coach. So from there, what do you think, Perm? What do you think? Do you think the Lakers should give LeBron James a shot to be the player coach?
Man. Fuck it. I mean, they hired David Blatt at one point to be this man's coach.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, shout out to fucking Eric Spoelstra, right? Probably the best coach he's had. Shout out to Eric Spoelstra. I think that you make LeBron. To be honest with you, I might go a step further. And I mean, if this is his legacy, and when the Lakers brought him over, I'm sure they made him legacy promises, right? Like, you're going to have a say here, here, and here. So if you're going to let him take over the coaching duties, let the man pick the groceries too, right?
You want to be the GM too?
Yeah, just give him the GM duties. Let him pick the fucking team. I mean, he practically does it anyway, right? We give him a lot of flack for the Russell Westbrook thing. We know that was him. Right? He picked Russell Westbrook. Had he been coaching, maybe they figure out a better way to integrate Russell Westbrook into the system. But Frank Vogel was the coach. He didn't really like Russ from all reports, right? Didn't want Russell as his point guard because Frank Vogel wants a point guard who, like we were talking about the other day or earlier, he wants a guy who's going to facilitate his slow-moving offense. That's what Frank Vogel wants. And so we'll see. I would say yes. I'm hesitant, right? I'm hesitant because I don't trust LeBron when it comes to that shit. But I think with the promises you've made him, you have to let him. Just let him.
Part of me wants to say, yeah, let him do it. F it,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Bill Russell, he did it back in the day and won a chip.
Good.
And who else did it? Old boy Lenny Wilkins did it too. So it's not like it's never, not been done, a player coach.
Yeah. Jerry West did it. It's been done.
Yeah. So I feel like no. I mean, I want to say yes so bad. I'm trying. I said all that to not say no, but
right.
I can't not say no because I feel like if you make LeBron James the head coach of the basketball team, I think that that's going to be an issue with the other players on the team because it's like they already have to. There's no buffer, because I know he gets along with a lot of people, but at least if you're having problems with LeBron or the way that the games are going, or you not getting the ball or anything happening, you can at least go to the coaches or go to the assistant coach, or you can go to somebody and maybe they could say something and you can get some plays ran for you. If you have a problem with the best player on the team and now you can't go, and he's the GM too. Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? I think if I'm the players on the team, I don't want to see it. If I'm LeBron James, though, I might want to take the opportunity to be a player coach because you're looking for every single way.
I knew you were gonna do it.
That you can be the GOAT, right?
I knew you were doing that shit.
If LeBron James won a championship as a player coach, fam, LeBron fans are going to go wild in this GOAT conversation.
Bonkers.
And I don't even know. Now we're in a whole new conversation, and I don't even know what we're going to do. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm LeBron, I want that to happen for my legacy. But if I'm the Lakers players and maybe some of the other coaches or maybe some of the people in the organization, I don't want that to happen.
So think about a couple of things, too, as this is a possibility. Is it a possibility, or is Byron Scott just run his mouth? And I don't mean that in any disrespect, right? Well, like Byron Scott is one of the great ambassadors of basketball that we've ever had. I love a Byron Scott. But is he just talking, right? Or is there actually some fire where the smoke is? So if this is a reality and they bring in Bronny next year, now LeBron James is also in charge of his own son's minutes. His son, who, mind you, a lot of people are going to scream nepotism,
Right.
right? He doesn't deserve a spot on any NBA roster. Yeah. And I'm not one of those people necessarily. I'm just saying, that's stuff that if this happens, we would also experience that as well.
Oh
I
yeah.
would say one thing to your point. I think those are great points. Who the fuck do you go talk to when you're having a beef with the star player if the star
Right.
player is still the coach? And then don't let that nigga be the GM too, right? Like that's crazy. And I would say you're right in almost in if every other scenario. I just think this is such a unique scenario because LeBron James is such a unique figure, such a unique athlete. I feel like if you have a problem with LeBron James now, where are you going? You going to Darvin Ham with that shit? Like he was handpicked by LeBron to be the coach, right? You going to the GM who was also handpicked by LeBron to be the GM. And so I don't know. Like I think there are real problems. I just don't know that in this unique scenario they're going to give a fuck.
Wasn't Plinka there before LeBron?
Was he? I
I think
thought he
for a
came.
while.
I thought who was before Palinka? I
No,
thought he got there
He was Magic before Palinka.
and
Remember?
didn't. I thought, yeah. So I thought Palinka and LeBron got there the same year.
Maybe they got there pretty close to each other.
Yeah, I mean, if you're right, it'd be like a year or two.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, whatever. Regardless, I don't know if I think that he's handpicked though, because was didn't he play for the Lakers? Rob Pelinka back in the day. So I mean,
Yeah.
I get what you're
Oh,
saying.
was he handpicked by Magic Johnson? He might have been handpicked
Yeah,
by
he's handpicked
Magic.
by Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he was. I mean, whatever. To get back on to the to
Yeah.
the to the point. I still don't know, man, because you say that at least when Darvin Ham's the coach, LeBron handpicked him, but depending on the relationship you build with him, you can still talk to him, and he's still a buffer. He's somebody between you and the star, and maybe you can fix whatever situations or issues you have, or maybe you can get more plays ran for you, or whatever the case is.
I
Or
think we learned they couldn't though.
what's that?
Didn't we learn that they couldn't? Like, because Ham's gone now, right?
Yeah, they packed him up and got him out of here. Packed him up and got him out of here too, man.
Yeah, I just think the situation is so unique. Um, I think that the issues that you're raising are real. I think that
Right.
they are real. And so I guess to your point, you think it's a bad idea. I don't. I think it's. I don't want to say it's a good idea. I think it's just an idea that's gonna happen. I honestly, at this point, I think it happens now that it's in the ethos. Like
Yeah, you think now
LeBron's not like. Good point, Byron Scott.
well,
Let me go holler at my handpicked Rob Pelinka.
let me go holler at Jeannie Bus real quick.
Fucking yeah. How about you fire yourself, Rob Pelinka? Because I'm taking over all this shit. It's all me.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
No,
But
no, no.
I don't so I guess since we're talking about this, real quickly, what do you think the Lakers need to do in order to who do you think that they need as a coach? If it was me, I'm trying to get on the phone with Budheiser.
Budenholzer.
Yeah, I'm trying to get on
Budenholzer,
the
yeah.
phone with him. But what are you trying to do in order to correct your roster, fix your roster? What's the most important roster move that they need to do?
Mm. You're gonna have to replace your point guard. D'Angelo Russell is a free agent. I don't think you want to bring him back. You got to look at that bench. That whole honestly, that roster needs a pretty big facelift. Um, you've got some flexibility. I have long been of the thought that you maximize what you can get out of Anthony Davis while you can. That's just me, man.
What?
I've never been a really big Anthony Davis fan. I always I feel like the times when I need him to be that guy, he has disappointed me just in my expectations. And so I've never really felt like outside of that bubble ring that they got, you could really count on Anthony Davis to be the guy that in those moments that you need him to be the guy that everybody thinks he is and wants to be. He just doesn't really show up consistently enough for me. So I think that there are deals out there that could be made that gives your roster some flexibility. People are talking about online about Anthony Edwards and how he is whooping up on the Nuggets and he doesn't have a top 10 or 15 player next to him, right?
I,
And so, like, if that's what we're saying, maybe these super teams aren't the way to go anymore,
well,
right? Like, maybe LeBron just needs to get a solid roster of players around him that can do all of the different things that need to happen. And I think with a guy like Anthony Davis, you'll get back a haul that gives you a guy who can get a bucket that you can that you can replace some of that production with, and then all of the consistency.
I don't know if I would necessarily, if I could say um Minnesota, just because they have a top 15 player, they got a top 25 player and potentially another top 30
Yeah,
player.
that's
And
just the argument that's being made right now online.
and they got the six man of the year. You know what I'm saying? So their roster
Yeah,
is stacked. They got a
but
roster.
that's what you can do when you don't have a top or two top 15 guys. I think is their point. I
Well,
think that's the point. Yeah,
but Rudy's max contract guy. Rudy's max contract, and
yeah,
so is Cat.
yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? They have two max contract guys. So I think I mean, I get what you're getting at, but I feel like as I'm looking here at the Lakers roster, I remember when the offseason went and it was like when they picked up Christian Wood, it looked like that was the last piece that they were going to need in order to just make the roster complete because, Anthony Davis didn't want to play center. So you can play Christian Wood at center a lot of the game, and then at the end of the game, you can do whatever you want, move Anthony Davis back over to center or wherever you need him to be at to be the best defensive player. I mean, they have Russell, they have Reeves, they have Davis, they had Spencer Dinwiddie. I mean, they had all these pieces. Gabe Vincent, I guess he got hurt, but they had all these pieces, and you figured that this was going to be the year. Maybe if they didn't win the championship, they were going to at least like it was going to go to Game 7 with Denver in the finals or something like that, or with Phoenix or whoever was playing in the final round. But for LA to put all this stock into this roster, I feel like they have good pieces. They need the right coach. And so where LA messed up is when they didn't hire Tyronn Lue when LeBron James wanted him to hire Tyronn Lue when he first got there. When they were like, "No, we're not hiring your guy." And I think did they hire Vogel instead? Was that who they hired instead of Tyronn?
They hired Vogel and then Darvin Ham. Yeah,
Right. So they should have hired Tyronn Lue. That would have been the smartest decision they could have made because Tyronn, obviously he's a phenomenal coach, and he gets along with LeBron. They're not going to have any problems. So I feel like that's where they messed up. I don't know how they fix it, but I would agree with you. They probably need to get a new point guard, um, and they're probably going to need to they need to just get rid of that bench and get a bench full of shooters.
how do you do that though?
Have LeBron put in them phone calls, get to talking to team, get to
But when you
talk.
start talking on those phone calls, the people on the other end are going to want something.
Yo, talk,
What do you have to give them?
get to talking on Team USA, you know what I'm saying, with your boys about getting a trade or something. All the homies are gonna be together this summer.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is those GMs on the other end of the phone, they want something.
Yeah,
What do you want? You want something off my team? I'll give it to you. But we want something too. Who are you going to give them? Because you have
yeah,
to give them somebody.
yeah. I'm not as big on Austin Reeves as the rest of the world is. I think he's a good ball player, but
What do you think you get back for an Austin Reeves, though? Like, that's really going to change your roster. You're just going to get back another Austin Reeves type player,
right.
right?
Yeah,
What you
you're
need to
about
do is
right.
fill like 3 roster spots with new guys who do the things that whatever you're going to do as a team, they fit those roles. And you can't fill that with Austin Reeves. You're just going to get apples, the same apples. What you need to do is you got to trade a big asset to
Yeah,
get
but
more
if
assets.
you're the Lakers, though, it's hard to trade Anthony Davis because
Hard,
LeBron's we
almost
don't
impossible.
know. LeBron could have 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. We don't know how many years he has left. So you don't want to trade your big piece because what if LeBron retires this year and you just got pieces to put around LeBron, and now LeBron's gone and you just have these pieces that are no good, and now you're back to the Lakers when Brandon Ingram and Hart and they drafted everybody, Julius Randle and everything like that. You have all these pieces that would go nice with Kobe or somebody else, but Kobe old, he done, he had to retire. So now you just have good pieces and not what you need to win moving forward.
So if you have Anthony Davis and LeBron leaves, what kind of team do you think you have?
At least you have a playoff team because
You
if you,
think so?
yeah, I think so. I
I
think
don't.
a playing caliber team at least.
Maybe yeah, at the 9 or 10.
Yeah,
When have we seen
but but
Anthony
but
Davis do anything without
but
LeBron?
but why I would say keep Anthony Davis is because the only way that it pans out or plays out or makes sense to trade Anthony Davis is if you're just going to get a haul of draft picks because the Lakers have no draft picks.
That's
So
true.
they have to keep Anthony Davis because if they trade him away, get a few pieces, LeBron retires. Now all they have is pieces and no draft picks for the next 6, 7 years. So they can't even
Are they
rebuild.
out of draft picks for the next seven
No, they
years?
traded all those draft picks for Anthony Davis and for all these players that they've been trading for all these years. So they don't really
But I
have.
mean, they've had Anthony Davis for like 5 years now.
Okay, you're right. It's
So
been 5 years, yeah. But
I mean, at some point they start getting those back, right? I just want to see what their draft pick status looks like.
uh,
So they have nothing this year. Or is that? Oh, the Pelicans have an option on their 24, 25 first rounder.
right.
So then in 26, they have all their stuff back. First round, they have their first rounder back. 27, they get the Jazz top four protected. Oh, no, no, no. That the Jazz get theirs top four in 27. 28, they have their own. 29, they have their own. 30, they've got their own. So their first round
Oh, well,
picks
okay.
in 24 and 27 are protected in some way.
Okay.
So, but the Pelicans, it looks like they can do a swap. Yeah, so they have the option to swap
And they're probably
24 or 25.
going to swap. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they'll probably swap.
Jaw come back. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
So I
you
mean,
know,
they're not like in dire strait, but I get you what your point is. You want to be able to restock the shelves quick. I just don't know if the alternative, like we're talking about an Anthony Davis, another year older, and we're asking him to lead a team to something that he's never done. Even when he was in New Orleans, I remember there was one year you were like, we had a conversation about it. You're like, that's the MVP that this year, right? And I'm like, hey, I don't doubt that he's going to put up the numbers, but where's that squad going to end up? Are they going to be the 8th seed? Because he won't win the MVP that way. And this was before Russ had won his MVP.
well,
But
I don't bend on the fact that I don't think that you know me, so like I'm not gonna be able to get off by just saying anything on these podcasts. So I'll stand firm as saying I don't think that Anthony Davis is a number one option on a championship team. I've always said that. I've always been firm on that because he's just not he's up and down. But that one season, I did think he had like MVP type numbers because he put up like 28, like 15,
yeah,
7, and
he
like
was.
it was like he had a
You were
crazy
right on par with him as far as the numbers. You were right on the nose. He was an
right.
MVP candidate, legit.
But I think that if it was me, if you want to know what I would honestly do with this Lakers situation,
Yes, I do.
I would re-sign LeBron and then I would blow the whole fucking shit up and be like, fuck it. I don't give a fuck if this nigga's mad at me or
Bruh.
not. You know what I'm saying? Nigga,
Bruh.
I can rebuild my franchise. You know what I'm saying? If I can get
Yeah.
to sign a contract and I can trade LeBron, because anybody gonna take LeBron. It don't matter if he's 41, 42. The
Oh,
niggas,
you mean you're gonna trade LeBron too?
I'm trading both those niggas and I'm starting to rebuild right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And now I've got all this assets. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting rid of Russell in a signing trade so he can get his max contract. You know what I'm saying? So I can get something back for him. I'm fucking getting rid of Reeves. I'm getting rid
You're
of
gonna
Rudy. I'm
you're
blowing
gonna
it.
2K GM this motherfucker is what you would do.
Well, I don't feel like any of those pieces. I feel like without LeBron and without Anthony Davis, they don't have a roster that's good enough um, to compete for the playoffs. So if you're not good enough to make for the playoffs, I would try to gain some assets back or just gain some more assets so I could try to be like, you see how quick Oklahoma City turned around. You know what I'm saying? You see how I mean the process didn't win a championship, but once Embiid finally got healthy, if him and Ben Simmons and if Doc Rivers didn't fucking go full mental in an interview and call Ben Simmons under the bus, we never know what would happen in that scenario. You know what I'm saying? But we see what happens when a lot of these teams they get a lot of picks and then they draft well and then they put together rosters real quick. Trade everybody, nigga. It's a fire sale, bro. We selling everything.
I'm down with selling everything but LeBron. I just wouldn't trade LeBron at this point. Um, that's just me as a like if I'm the GM, there's something to the legacy of allowing LeBron James to retire a Laker. Um, that I think as a franchise you benefit from for the next 20 to 30 years. That's just me. And I don't disagree with you. I don't think that you're going to win a title with a team building or the roster in that way. Like, I agree.
All right. So
I just don't know that they're going to win a title anyway, right? So I think you let LeBron have his farewell tour. You bring in all the revenue from that shit, and then when he leaves, you've got a few assets that you may have picked up from the Anthony Davis thing, and you move forward as a franchise. That's just me. I think we're talking about the same thing, just one different caveat, and that's me just allowing LeBron to have his farewell run. And you're like, I want to get back to rings. So fuck that dude, fuck that dude, fuck that dude. They can all go. And I don't disagree with that either.
right, none of them are doing nothing. Sorry, I lost the camera for just one moment. I'm getting it ready to go.
Okay, yeah. Who am I looking at? Is this K Dot?
No, that's me.
That's you?
Yeah,
When do you look so I got you on the little screen.
yeah, it's a Nebraska shirt. You know, it's me.
Oh, okay. You just look dark. When the fuck did
I
you
say,
become black? I don't remember you being a black dude. That's just new for me, man.
wow. We get it. We got it. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Yes, sir.
Start video. Here we go. All right, all right, all right. So leave all that shit in there. Fuck it, you know?
Yeah.
It was kind of, I mean, you don't have to, you can take it out. I don't care. You can edit this however you want to.
Right.
Um, but I guess we're kind of at the end of the pod anyway for this cool short episode. That's kind of what we had for you guys. Obviously, we don't have the answer to the story. We just know that they need a new head coach. It's going to be LeBron. What are y'all going to do with y'all roster? We don't care, but we do care because y'all are the Lakers, and when the Lakers are doing
We
well,
yeah.
you
But we
know,
care what y'all think, though. We want to know what y'all think. So jump in these comments, man. Tell us what the fucking Lakers should do. If they get rid of LeBron, what do you think happens?
right?
Do you guys think that the Lakers need to get away from Mr. Glass, Anthony Davis, like the rest of the world does? Yeah, let us know. Get in those comments, like, subscribe, and tell us, Aaron's full of shit. This dude Frick don't know what the hell he's talking about. Perm's an idiot. He should never run an NBA team, which is also very true. Don't give me an NBA team. I'll run him into the ground. I promise.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And I'd be on the court. I'd be dancing in all the videos. You know what I'm saying? I'd be on the court at all the halftime shows. You know
That's
what
an analogy that doesn't hit the same, bro. Take that,
I'm like?
take that, take that. Don't hit the same, man.
But it's not because I'm using it more. I guess like it does it because it's like the Suge Knight side just as bad. So it's like
Yeah, yeah. No, I get you though. He can be on all the videos. I'm gonna be on all the tip-offs. All the 3-point shots is me.
right. All the
Hell no.
concessions. I pick
Hell
those
no.
burgers.
I'm
You know what
telling
I'm
you, this
saying?
motherfucker thinks he could go out and run a route on fucking Sauce Gardner today. He
I
said,
absolutely do not. Absolutely do not. I couldn't run around on my son right now. My body is so jacked up,
You
dude.
sure couldn't. You sure couldn't. I couldn't get a route either. I get into that break, my whole hip will fall apart. Bang.
I was, you're not gonna believe me when I tell you this, but I was I don't know why, but I was working on a route the other day, right? I'm not even joking, but it was just I was like just some weird underneath route. I don't even know why. I was probably intoxicated, right? We're not even gonna
Where
lie.
were you
In the
running
living
this
room.
route?
In the living room. But it was just like this.
Why?
It was like I was watching some break off a route, and then I was like, but what if somebody broke like this, broke, and did like, I don't know, whatever. But I was like, I can't run routes no more. I can't even consider
No.
running around, man. My body don't work like it used
You
to.
probably can't even get low enough to to get in and out of a break for real, to where like you're gonna lose somebody. You gotta be low.
Yeah, I can't.
They digging. They dig that out, bro.
I'm
No.
getting standing up stiff and pause. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
come on, man. Yeah. My body ain't like it used to be, but
No, it doesn't. Your body don't recover that way either. I play softball on Monday nights, man, and I was out in left field, windy. It's all hell here in Nebraska, y'all, if y'all don't know. So we had wind blowing infield, and I'm out there and left. The ball's up, little pop flying, and that sucker just started like it hit the brakes and just started moonwalking on my ass. So I'm like running that motherfucker down, and I dove to get that ball, made the catch, landed on my motherfucking chest, like my whole chest and ribs and hip, my whole shit was just hurt for 3 innings, dude. I'm like I ain't built for this anymore,
Yeah,
man. You know?
man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's what we got for y'all. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all for checking us out as always. And we'll check y'all out in the next one.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Like, subscribe. We appreciate y'all.